Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we're going to be reacting to 15 best open world games you didn't.
Open world is the most popular genre in video games by far, so there's no shortage of excellent open world games to dive into. But because of how crowded that space is, it also means that some real gems get lost in that crowd. Here, we'll be talking about 15 great open world games that should have gotten more attention than they did. Mad Max. Mad Max was by no means a flawless game.
I do own this
Such
game.
as how
I'm looking
repetitive
forward
it
to
could
playing
often
it because the
get were
gameplay
hard
did
to
look
ignore.
good.
But like many Avalanche Studios titles, it was a true diamond in the rough. Not only was it a visual feast, it was also an absolute blast to play, with excellent and thrilling vehicular combat and a well-designed world. On top of all of that, it absolutely nailed the brutal, barbaric, and violent tone of the Mad Max franchise. Ryzen 3. If you're looking for an extremely polished open-world production,
I did own the first one of this, and I got rid of it because apparently they get worse for every sequel.
Large role-playing game with a rich and diverse world, there's a lot to love here. Like many other games on this list, Ryzen 3 is not without its issues, but taken as a whole, it is still a really good game that deserves far more attention than it gets. The Godfather. Taking a property as legendary as The Godfather and adapting it into a video game sounds like exactly the kind of situation that has led to many horrendously disappointing experiences. But The Godfather's 2006 game is an exception that stands out. From the way it faithfully recreated the movie's story, to how well it captured its tone and aesthetic, to the excellent open world that was just a blast to simply exist in, The Godfather was a surprisingly great game. Batman Arkham Origins. While Rocksteady's excellent Arkham games rightly
if you've played Arkham Asylum and City, why wouldn't you have played this game?
WB Montreal's
I get it,
Arkham
but
Origins
why would you would have picked
which
it
is
up.
really unfair,
So how do
because
people
this
not
game
play it?
is every bit as good as an Arkham game should be. The story is excellent and is backed by top-notch voice acting. It retains the Arkham game's strong traversal and combat loops, while it also features some of the best boss fights in the entire series. Dying Light. Dying Light launched in a pretty rough state. I've seen
my brother play this as well.
But even then, it was clear
this looks
that this
really
was a
great
game
with
with
the
a lot of
parkour and
potential
everything.
and a lot of really great ideas. Over time, Techland cleaned it up with multiple updates, and by the time that they were done, Dying Light had turned into the game that it should have been from the beginning. Its world is terrifying and exhilarating to explore. It has satisfying parkour elements, and combat only gets better and better as the game progressed. The upcoming Dying Light 2 is promising to be even better, and we cannot wait to see what Techland does with it.
Ready to then can just get the second one.
Just Cause 3. Avalanche Studios are true open-world connoisseurs, and Mad Max isn't the only diamond in the rough that they've made that is featured.
I've heard this game is bad because the loading screens take forever.
Yes, plenty of them. But is it a blast to play? Well, that's putting it mildly. The over-the-top action, bombastic destruction, and unbelievably enjoyable traversal that this series has always been known for are in top form in Just Cause 3. And though it can be a bumpy ride, more so on other platforms than some, it is ultimately an enjoyable experience that no fan of open-world games should miss. Sunset Overdrive. Insomniac Games didn't really have a ton of experience with open-world design until not too long ago, but playing Sunset Overdrive, you would not have believed that this was their first crack at it.
That's quite a crazy
This game is the very definition of underrated gem. It's got excellent traversal mechanics, thrilling combat that makes every encounter a joyride, and every inch of its world is oozing with style and personality. The Saboteur. Open-world games often tend to play things by the book, so when one comes along and tries to do things differently and actually does them well, you can't help but sit up and
I do own this. I had it before, but I got rid of it because I wasn't really into it. But
nearly as much attention
like looking
as it
back
should
on it,
have.
I really didn't give it much of a
From its
chance.
unique aesthetic and art design to its rich setting to its extremely addictive open-world gameplay, The Saboteur is a game that you absolutely should not miss if you have any interest in open-world games. Sleeping Dogs. One of the games that gets brought up most often in discussions of unfairly overlooked open-world titles is Sleeping Dogs.
This apparently is a great game.
Classic at this point. There's just so much to love about it. It's rich and vibrant open world. It's brutal and punchy combat. It's riveting story. It's engaging progression mechanics. To call Sleeping Dogs one of the most complete and well-designed open world games of the last decade would not be an exaggeration in the slightest. Sniper Elite 4. Sniper Elite 4 isn't exactly an open-world game. It's got a linear, mission-driven structure. But each mission puts you in large open sandboxes which are really well designed.
I've always been curious
The
about
game's
these games.
systems-driven nature makes it so that you can toy around in the environments endlessly, while its solid stealth mechanics and open-ended mission design complemented those strengths greatly as well. No, it's not exactly your typical huge open-world game, but its large sandbox maps have more than enough to keep open-world aficionados satisfied.
Doesn't look too bad,
Kingdoms
actually.
of Amalur Reckoning.
I might invest in this
It's
franchise.
sad to see that Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning's strong reception among fans and critics did not lead to strong sales as well, because this
Okay.
is the kind of game that could have given birth
I
to
believe
a
this
proper
just
series.
got a remaster,
It did
I
not
think.
reinvent the wheel by any means,
On the Switch, I
but
think.
it had
I'm
a
pretty
thorough
sure.
understanding of what it needed to do to be a good open-world game and a good RPG. It had tons of customization options, 5 large and distinct areas to explore that were full of things to do, great combat, and a setting full of dense lore. THQ Nordic did recently purchase the property, so let's hope that we see it making a comeback not long from now.
I rate it. I rate it.
Mafia 3. Mafia 3, much like its predecessor, was something of a mixed bag. But if you could take the good with the bad, you'd be
I've
in
heard
for
so
a
much
memorable
mixed things
experience.
about Mafia.
And the thing
The
that
Mafia
contributed to that
franchise,
the
like,
most
I
was
still
its
don't
story,
want to buy
a
it, though.
genuinely excellent mob story that still stands as one of the best of its kind we've ever seen in a video game. Sure, the mission design could get mundane, and yes, the world did often feel like it was needless padding. But when the game was good, it was really good. The Getaway. Of all the so-called Grand Theft Auto clones of the 2000s, and there's no shortage of those,
Okay.
The Getaway is probably one of the very best.
Well,
But
classic
calling it a
PS2.
GTA clone is a bit too reductionist, because yes, it had a similar gameplay loop and similar open-world design, both of which were very well implemented. But in going for its highly stylized cinematic aesthetic, it also tried to set itself apart from the crowd, and it did so very successfully. Two Worlds 2. Two Worlds 2 certainly has a strong and dedicated fan base of its own, so it's not like there aren't people out there who don't appreciate how good it is. But it is the sort of game that deserves more of the limelight. It's a huge improvement over its predecessor, with a vast and flexible array of RPG mechanics and systems. And though some technical issues let it down, it was still a really good open-world RPG. A sequel is currently in the works, so here's hoping that's just as much of a leap forward. Gothic. Challenging and high systems driven as it is, Gothic isn't a very friendly game to newcomers. But if you invest enough time into it,
Never
you'll
even
be
heard of this
rewarded
game.
with one of the most engaging and satisfying open world RPGs. This game doesn't hold your hand, and that's its biggest strength. Traversing its world always feels wrought with challenge, but completing quests in its highly interactive world is
First
a very
impressions, it looks a bit
rewarding
slow.
experience. And that
Like,
about does it for this video.
any game that
If
has
you
really
enjoyed
slow
what you
movement,
watched
I'm not
and
really
want
a
to
big
see more
fan
from
of.
Gaming Bolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our
Well,
videos.
that was it, guys. That was 15 best open world games you didn't play. I'm not sure if I agree with a lot of this because, in general, like, people have played it. Like, again, with Batman Arkham Origins, if you played Arkham Asylum, which you probably did because it's amazing, you played Arkham City because it's even more amazing, then why would you not have played Arkham Origins? Like, you would have been curious, even if you didn't particularly like it over the others. Same with a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, it's weird, but I think in general, like, it's just people's opinions, isn't it? Let's be honest. So that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe down below with notifications turned on for my latest videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any open world games that maybe you think are hidden gems, maybe ones that people haven't really played or heard about. So, let me know down below if there are any, or if there are any other ones you recommend, or any that you saw in the video that you've not played that you might be considering to play now. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching and subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. And as always, take care of yourselves.